Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche podcast. We are here celebrating a win.
Hell yeah.
The second time this season.
Hell yeah. That was way more subdued than
Energy
I meant for it to be. Yeah.
bro.
My bad.
For the second time this season, the Avs come back from a 3-goal deficit and win the game.
And they'll do it again.
I hope they don't have to. As much as I love the comeback, this is exhausting.
It's fun. It's more fun than losing, dude.
That's true. That's definitely true. Great game from a lot of players, a lot of questionable moments. We'll get into all of it. First of all, let me get that 60-second rundown for you.
Good luck.
I actually thought the Avs started the game well, and then a nonsense goal goes in for Toronto, bounces off Josh Manson's chest and into the net, and the Avs kind of spiraled in the rest of the first period. Toronto took it over. They add 2 more goals. Before you know it, the Avs are down 3-0, an unfortunately familiar hole for them.
Bless you.
But the positive side of this, a familiar feeling of the Avs slowly clawing their way back into this game. They get 2 in the second period to make it a hockey game, down 1. And then they continue with 3 more, including the empty netter, for 5 unanswered goals to win this game 5-3. You got massive performances out of guys like Jonathan Drouin, Nathan MacKinnon, the usual suspects at the top of your forward lineup there.
Ross Colton.
He was good. He also missed an empty net, which I'm sure we'll talk about.
He made up for it.
Did he make up for it, or did he reap the benefits of other good people's
He
plays?
made up for it.
Okay. As 1-5-3. Let's go all the way back here. And this is going to be a funny balancing act for me, actually, because across the course of this game, and honestly this entire season, you're giving the Avs a ton of credit for being a super resilient hockey team. We've seen them come back, this is their 14th comeback of the year, so they do it all the time. The way this first period plays out, though, did the Avs slip mentally a little bit with that first goal going in the way that it does? Or was that just the way the hockey game went?
The first one?
Yeah. I'm not blaming. I'm saying, did they slip mentally because that bounce goes against them?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, Toronto gets that goal, and obviously they turn it up a little bit. When you really dig into it, it ended up being a pretty even period overall in terms of how it got played.
It's just the big mistakes.
Yeah, and it's really, I mean, the breakaway, the Riley one is like a big, like, Devon Taves just misplays the puck. That's one guy.
Yep.
And then after that, it's a comedy of errors for that third goal. So I really don't think, but I don't think overall, I don't think the team really fell apart or went to pieces or anything like that. I think they got wildly unlucky.
For sure.
And then they make a couple of big mistakes that the other team capitalizes on, and their response to that is, okay, stop making mistakes. And that's how they played the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Pluh.
Pretty good hockey.
Yeah.
Wasn't horrible, especially given the depleted lineup that the Avs are playing with.
Fair
They
points.
still controlled possession, and they were more dangerous on the whole in the entirety of the game, but even inside the first period, what they did with their possession created more dangerous looks for them. And you just feel sympathy for a little bit of everyone, but especially Georgiev, because those first 3 goals are a little bit weird. The first one goes off Josh Manson's face.
Yeah. First one's straight up made up nonsense.
That one's tough. Then they let Morgan Rielly go end to end. That's a really hard look for the entirety of the team defense at that point. It's even bigger than Devon Taves, right? Rielly's able to escape Toronto's end with the puck with a very little fight from Drouin and Rantanen. And so there's a few other people that goes through before that falls squarely on Taves having the puck poke checked away from him. And then the last one was chaos at the net front. Sam Girard was trying to do the right thing, and there was just a lot of pressure, a loose puck, Toronto swoops in, and it was hard, right? Gerard was doing everything he could to defend the net front, and Georgiev ended up on his back. It was just a tough one, and he buttoned it up, locked it down from that point on, and they made fewer mistakes like that. And I loved what they did with the rest of the game. I'm sure we'll talk about how the second and third period unfolded, but even inside the first period, I didn't feel like it got to them too much mentally.
I mean, here's what I'll say. There's two reasons why. Maybe the Avs 3 years ago, they get rattled to the bones. Tonight, they lose 6-1.
Yeah.
It's different now. It's different. That core knows how to win. They know what to expect from one another. They know that there's so much time, and we talked about the runway, when it was 3-0. So much runway in the game. And then the coaching staff. It's very important you don't get rattled. I played for coaches, you get rattled, it's 3-0. And you're like, oh my God, are you kidding me? And then they instill like a certain sense of panic. And you know what I mean? You can tell Bednar, Prater, those guys, Ray, they don't install panic. Hey, we got this. It's all good. Again, we just went through those 3 goals. Mm-hmm. The first goal is a nothing burger. The second one is, you're going to throw the puck at Devon Toews 58 times in his hands. He's going to do the right play 57 times. It just, you know what? He put it down. It trickled through. He just put it down softly. And then next thing you know, they executed. That's it, And somewhere, somehow, that group doesn't get rattled. They're resilient. They talk about it all the time. And that's why they're dangerous. Mm-hmm. Even though with a depleted lineup, they do have the weapons. Who ends up scoring goals? Like, MacKinnon gets the winner again, right? You're built that way. You have a lot of time. You're never out of the fight. Georgiev does the job. Doesn't have to be spectacular, right? He does the job, but he doesn't have to be spectacular. But he outplays the guy across down the street from him, right? You're asking him to outplay Martin Jones that didn't have an NHL deal this summer till later on, right, with Toronto and signs league minimum, whatever it was. Somewhere, somehow, kudos to him, but kudos to the resiliency of the team and the coaching staff, because you're seeing a team that's got championship pedigree and knows how to win, and that's why they're dangerous.
A fun little fact here about this game. First of all 3 of the Maple Leafs goals were unassisted.
I saw that.
That's weird.
But that's what I'm saying. They're crazy goals.
And ignore the 3-0 for a second. Here's part of the reason the Avs win this game. Nathan MacKinnon, goal and assist. Mikko Rantanen, goal and assist. Jonathan Drouin, who's playing on that top line, goal and assist.
There you go.
Toronto?
Yeah.
Marner, no points. Matthews, no points. Nylander, no points. John Tavares, no points.
No Stanley Cup rings either.
Yeah.
No Stanley Cup
also
rings.
True. Also no Stanley Cup rings right there. The Avs stars were the better stars tonight. They came out and beat that other team. Obviously, the 3-goal hole isn't great. You don't love that you spot them that.
But also, who doesn't score those goals, as you're saying? It's some schoolyard nonsense.
It made it funnier, too, when you talked about Toronto's D being a little suspect and then Riley and Liljegren get on the board. But it's also how the Avs were able to get inside home plate, even in a difficult first period, is because the defense truly was suspect, even though they get 2 goals from their D tonight.
Yep.
That's how the Avs were able to play between the hash marks tonight and get as dangerous as they did, and why they were able to come back the way that they did.
Here... Can
I just give extra credit to Nathan MacKinnon, too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I know we'll talk about the goal and whatever, but I just don't want it to get lost in the fact that we're talking about star on star right here. Mm-hmm. Colorado's second goal, Rantanen's goal.
Yep.
If you go and watch, Matthews is trying to clear that puck, and it's MacKinnon that gets stick on stick that disrupts that clear, ends up right on Sam Girard's stick.
Yep.
And the rebound is the one that Rantanen puts in.
Finds, yep.
If MacKinnon just gives up on that play, it's out of the zone, and who knows what this game looks like. MacKinnon doesn't give up on that play. He outplays Austin Matthews.
Yep.
And because of that individual effort, that one-on-one individual effort right there, that puck ends up in the back of that net, and it's 3-2, and we're in a very different world. So just a little extra credit when you're talking star power, Hart Trophy, all this other stuff. Like, Nathan MacKinnon finishes this game with 2 block shots, which is hilarious to me. I kind of just wonder if he was skating through the zone and pucks hit him or what happened.
Circumstantial situation.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. But also, like, he outplays Austin Matthews in what ended up being a really important moment in that game.
Yeah.
Because, in a 3-1 game, that next goal, it's really, really, really important. Because if you get it to 4-1, you're probably home free. But if you get it to 3-2, especially with the team in Toronto that struggled to protect leads, and a team in Colorado that is league leading in its ability to erase deficits.
Yep.
That's a really important goal, and it starts because Nathan MacKinnon makes an effort. And I've been really critical of him at times he just gives up on plays sometimes, bad body language, stuff like that. He didn't give up on that one. He went and he worked. Outplays Matthews. It turns into a goal. I mean, that's just Ross Colton gets a point or gets 2 points tonight. Yeah. All that. But really, like, it's like Nathan MacKinnon's kind of at the heart of a lot of this stuff again.
Yep.
It's only going to show up as 2 points on the stat sheet, but in terms of coming back from a 3-0 deficit and winning this game in regulation, Nathan MacKinnon's a huge piece of it.
He was 1 point away from being the fastest Avalanche player to 70 points in a season. But I think the moment of significance you're talking about trumps a 3-point night because it's a second effort from MacKinnon on that play. Rantanen's the initial puck carrier that stumbles and loses the puck.
Yep.
And they could have given up in that moment, but it's the pressure of MacKinnon breathing down Austin Matthews' neck that forces him to cough up that puck to Girard in a moment of panic. And that comes from Nathan MacKinnon, who I think played like a bull in a china shop tonight.
And for me, the Toronto Maple Leafs, there's a reason people talk about them all the time. The last few seasons, and great team, great regular season team, and tonight they played a real contender, right? A depleted Colorado Avalanche, and where they lost the game is at 3-0. Right there, they weren't able to get the fourth one, and then at 3-0, you're getting a penalty on the bench on a championship pedigree team. Like, you'll be talking about, hey, listen, this is the key play right here. We don't give up a goal. What do? They give up a goal. And then the game changes on a dime. And that's what happens in playoffs, because once playoffs momentum switches and you can't get it back, you're done. You're screwed. And that falls on your coaching staff, and that's what I said earlier, and then your leadership group. And I don't know if those guys have it. I haven't seen it. One playoff round win in 7 years. Like, and I'm not saying they're bad players.
They're not.
What I'm saying. I play with guys like Claude Lemieux, Mike Keane, but are they good players? Noel Keener was an average player. I love him. I hope he's listening. I love him. But, oh, my God. Like, 6 goals a year. But I'll tell you one thing. In those moments, that penalty's killed. Claude Lemieux, in those moments, like, that goal is scored, right? You don't have to get that first one, like we were just talking about. That Drouin goal, right? He gets that power goal. To be a champion, you can say you want to be a champion, but to be a champion, it's not easy, and you got to be clutch in those moments. Some guys are born for that, and some guys aren't. You know what I mean? And the Avs have done it the last few years, and it's awesome to watch, and this is what you saw tonight. That's the difference between a championship team and a team that's won one round in 7 years. You saw it tonight. I don't care who's injured, whatever. It's a middle of the season game, right?
It's the self-defeating stuff, right?
That's it.
The first goal is a perfect example of that. AJ pointed out during our watch-along. Not only are they killing a penalty, they take another penalty.
Right off the face-off.
Which is, taking the penalties bad enough, and then you watch the Leafs just quit.
Well,
it's a strategic thing, right?
Yeah.
Because I think it's TJ.
That's what I wanted to talk about. Yeah,
he sees because if you watch his head, I don't know if he sees the ref with his arm up, but he certainly sees Georgiev at the other end leave.
Yep.
And so he knows it's a 5-on-3, so he doesn't want to touch the puck.
Yep.
He wants that to be as short a 5-on-3 as he possibly can be. Lifts his foot up
and
to let that puck go through him. Yeah, and it was just like, how in the world do you think that, hey, let's have a shorter 5-on-3 is more important than
a grade A
let's
chance.
continue to play hockey? That's the stuff that the mental stuff, and you see it all throughout this game. Austin Matthews not working hard enough to get that puck out of his own zone. That's the stuff.
Yep.
I mean,
you look at it and it's like these are the things that kill you. And when that game gets to 3-on-3, or I'm sorry, 3-3,
Yep.
and you get late into the third period, who's making the play?
The Avs are hunting.
The Avs are dominating them.
Yep.
You know, Toronto gets a couple of decent looks. Like, it's okay. But it's nothing that you're freaking out about. Georgiev is comfortable. He's fine. He's settled into the game. Martin Jones is not. And who makes the play? They get up the ice. Nathan MacKinnon just outplays them.
Yep.
Just outplays them. And where are Toronto's guys? But where are the guys?
Sliding into the corner.
When you talk about, this team is top heavy and the Avs are built to be top heavy, well, that's because their guys get it done.
That's it.
They get it done.
It's not hard. I'm laughing.
And it doesn't. You look at this stretch of games that they're on right now, all right? They go into Dallas. They beat Dallas. They're 4-4 against Florida. They lose on a 5-on-3.
Yep.
Late in the third period. I guess in a third period. It happens. They lose that game. They beat Boston. They beat Vegas. They go into Toronto and beat Toronto with 10 forwards.
9, really?
It's really
Caleb
9.
Jones?
It's 9 forwards, really. With 9 forwards.
Because McDermott played, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
He basically
None
didn't
in the
play
third
the
period.
Yeah.
You beat them with 9 forwards. Like, I understand they have goaltender. Their Martin Jones is like their third guy. He's not supposed to be here. But give me a break. 9 forwards
And 5D.
and 5. Great point.
Jack Johnson goes
Yeah, because he gets hurt. And it's not like Caleb Jones played a lot on defense. He
No,
played
very
a
little.
little bit in the third period on D when they needed him. 9 forwards and essentially 5 defensemen in this game, and you erase a 3-0 deficit in their barn and beat them. Yeah, this is the exact kind of game that everybody should be using to say these guys are pretenders. This is why you do not believe in them, and it is another reason why you look at Colorado and you say this is a problem.
That's the difference.
They are not even close to full strength, and they're getting better.
Do you think it's a one-trick pony kind of thing?
If it is, the pony is really, really good. And given that criticism comes from a one-trick pony, maybe it takes one to know one.
Well, just 2 seconds, because I was asking you right before.
He turns a lot.
I want to talk about those 2 plays,
go
right?
for it.
That's the play of 3-0, and it is Troy Brody. Here's my rule of thumb out there. There's so many things when you're tired, you're out there, and there's a puck in front of you. It's easy. We're sitting here watching on TV. We're having a cocktail, like, yeah. When you're out there, your brain's shut. You can't breathe. My rule of thumb's always been just touch the puck.
Yeah, just get it.
I don't give a schneискis if the guy's referee's arms up, like, especially when you're 5 feet in front at Pizza Hut. You just open the door. You're like, yeah, just take it. Like, you shoot there. You're free. You just go. You know what I mean? Like, that was a monumental mistake right there by Troy Brody. That's a veteran player right there. Touch the puck. Touch the puck. Nothing's more important than getting the whistle. Nothing's more important. That was such a big mistake. But the Avs, they thrive and they jump on those mistakes, right? So then they went like this. And that's what we're talking about. And then the second play I wanted to talk about was that second goal. Go back 10, 15 seconds. Manson does an unbelievable job on the wall. And then Cogliano goes after that puck, not once, twice. Like when I'm hungry here and I get on that freaking grilled cheese from downstairs. That's what he looked like. He was excited. He went at it. And sure, he throws a muffin on net that goes in the net. Like, it's a complete luck shot. Like, but that's not, the shot's not important. It's the finished product. It's the 10, 15 seconds before. What do you have? 2 Grizzly vets, right? Manson, Cogliano, that do the job on the wall and do the job at hunting that puck, and the puck gets in the net. Those 2 have championship pedigree as well. And people don't understand how important it is to have that on your teams. Yes, I hear the one-trick pony, whatever. The Avs are built that way. They have the best defenseman in the world, the best forward in the world. And they're probably the best winger in the world. I mean,
Also,
one of the best.
just an all-star goalie.
I'm just saying. Okay, so it's what I'm saying is, they're built that way, but they have guys like Manson, Cogliano, and we make fun of Cogs sometimes. Age is getting up there and everything, but those are key plays in a key moment. You're starting a 5-game road trip. You're Hockey Night in Canada. The whole league's watching. It is like it. Trust me, it is like that. It's a monumental play right there, and those guys get it done. And yeah, Mac and those guys get the credit. It's okay. But guys like Manson, guys like Cogliano, that's why they're there, and that's why they complement this team so well.
Love it. And it's not, again, a night we talked about it. The Avs needed, there's nobody else in the lineup.
There you go.
They needed those guys to help pitch in a little bit behind MacKinnon and the big guys.
You have jersey fillers, and that's okay. You know, that's what happens when you have a lot of injuries, and you just have average, sometimes, players, or some guys that are not ready, right, to fill in that role yet at a full-time NHL level. But you got to dress 20, and like you said, that was by the skin of your teeth tonight, dressing-wise. I mean.
Yeah, they barely iced a full lineup, for sure. I do want to stop and give credit to Alexander Georgiev tonight, though. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you never love 3 goals in whatever it was, 12 minutes or something in the first period, even if none of them were his fault. A guy who was at that point had given up 3 goals on 10 shots.
Yeah, I mean, that third one, you're really like, why are you falling on the ice?
But my point being, he's in that situation, and then that's it. He does not give up another one. I think some of the problem we've had with Georgiev, we've said it a lot this year, make one more save. He made the one more tonight.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we've always talked about 3 or less. You don't give your team a chance. It's not great if the first 3 happen in the first 15 minutes and your team's down 3-0. That's not ideal, but it stopped.
Yep.
And you can also look at the team in front of him and say, okay, well, they allow 14 shots in the next 2 periods.
Yep.
They allow 15 in period 1, and they allow 14 across periods 2 and 3. Fine. Whatever. They made his job easier. Great. He does his job from that point. And
does what he has to do.
And if we're being honest here, one of those goals is complete trash. It is just a hockey bounce.
Yep.
The guy gives up 2 real goals tonight that you can look at him and say, hey, maybe there's something to talk about here. Instead of a goal that is a fluttering puck that goes off of the defenseman's chest, face, upper body, upper body, goes off his upper body and flutters in over top of, like, it's a nonsense goal. If you're going to try and blame a goaltender for that, like, give me a break here.
Yep.
Well,
He gives up 2 real goals in like normal hockey situations. He does what you want against this team. And let's be real, the team in front of him, and I want to stress this point again, the team in front of him is very, very good in this 60 minutes. Megan mentioned it earlier. If you look at the scoring chances, you look at the high danger chances, you look at all the numbers and all that, the first period is very slightly tilted in Toronto's favor, but it's close. It's close.
Yep.
It's way closer than a 3-0 score would suggest. And then after that, Colorado blew their doors off with a seriously compromised lineup. Mm-hmm. However, when you are built the way the Avs are built, and you have your top pairing, and you have Mikko Rantanen and Nathan MacKinnon, and at this point, Jonathan Drouin, Val Nichushkin, sick, not in the lineup, the beat goes on. Ross Colton with 2 points.
Yep.
It's just an incredibly impressive thing. They are very beat to shit right now. They lose Jack Johnson.
Multiple guys out sick.
Yeah, you've got guys like the flu is ripping through your team. Did you just look at them?
Sorry, I was looking up like shots on net from Toronto side of it because I was trying to see how well contained the Mariners, the Matthews were, and they held Matthews to just 1 shot on net and blocked a lot of his other attempts.
Pretty good.
That requires team defense to execute in those matchups very well, and so to contain those players the way that they did is very impressive.
I think sometimes we can be overcritical of the mistakes the Avs make. Devontae's mistake in this game, the full team defense being weak on it. If that isn't a goal that makes the game 2-0.
It's a tough play, too. You get what you want. The guy tries to dump the puck. It bounces over a guy's stick, and then he skates in and outplays you. Like, yeah, it's a nice play by him. You got 2 things that you're down 2-0 because some 50-50 stuff has gone against you. It's a good finish by Riley. It's a nice play and all that. He flips the puck. You got what you wanted. He got rid of it, and Devon Taves goes to play it, and it bounces over his stick. And you're like, Devon Taves has made this play 6,000 times in an Avs uniform.
Yep.
It doesn't go wrong very often. You're down 2-0, and you haven't played poorly.
And that's my, like, if this happens at a different point in the game, if you're up 3-1 and you give up that goal, you go, wow, that was really bad, but you don't have this feeling of like the sky is falling. Yeah. Because the Avs are spiraling out of control in the first period. I know they didn't really spiral, but that's the feeling.
That's the thing about it. we could have spiraled. You and I are spiraling on the watch line. We're like,
Constantly.
screw this. This game's done. Let the mites play. Let's bring out the kids. Like, whatever, Give them all a thrill. Sign them all to one-day deals. Let's just get out of Dodge as healthy as we can, which they don't do. But they don't spiral.
Yep.
They just kept playing. And they got better and better and better. And if you look at the final game numbers, they nasty.
Yeah.
That's where the credit to Georgiev comes into play too, because we've talked about how he's responded mentally during tough moments, and this is an improvement. That going down 3 goals in the first period, Justus Hannudin gets recalled
that
in the
was
middle
wild.
of the game.
Could any of us recall the last time the Avs have made a recall in the middle of a hockey game?
Nope.
Postmatov's got to be sick. I mean, has to be.
Did you say sick?
Has to be during the game. They're like, oh God, this guy's sick. I
I wonder.
It has to be.
I
There's
wonder
no other
if
way.
after the first period they went into intermission and they were like, "Oh, let's have Prosvetov play. Let's put him in.
And
Let's
he's
put
like,
him
I'm
in."
sick,
And he was
coach, I can't
barfing
go
in the
And he's
corner.
like
No, I mean, it's
puking his
something like
brains
that.
out
It
in the corner,
happens.
and they were like, "We have a problem here."
Guys,
I just wonder.
I mean, I'm just saying, I've done it so many times. I being in management with the Avs, like so many times during the game, like your phone just keeps going, like on the press box, like, and it's like you're all the way back east. Your team's right here. What are we doing tomorrow? This guy's got, I'll be stupid here. This guy's got diarrhea. It might. You have to make decisions.
Yeah.
Yep.
And decisions are made during the game. It has nothing to do with the game. So, if I'm looking back right now, Prospetov's probably sick, in my book. You know what I mean? Like, and
Just-
he might
it
have been on the
seems the
bench.
likeliest
You're still on
answer.
the bench.
No, it does.
You're still on the bench because you don't want to set panic, and you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, let's run the goalie because the other guy's gone, and then we're gonna get the e-bug in, and you know what I mean? But things need to be done. The flights have to be made, and arrangements. You know what I mean? And then at the end of the day, like things happen. So, but yeah, it was coincidental, and it's kind of funny, but just.
I didn't mean to interrupt your point, Megan.
No,
I
No,
just-
it's okay. It was worth noting the Justus Hannudin recall in the middle of the game because
definitely.
that by itself was, I don't want to say weird, but probably added pressure to Georgiev's situation that he was going to be the guy to close out this game. And even though they only give up 1 penalty kill, which is a huge credit to the Avs too,
Discipline for once.
it comes about in the second period. They manage to kill it, and it's the 6th best power play in the league
Yep.
opposite them. They have one of their best penalty killers in the box for it to happen. That requires then a good penalty kill, including Alexander Georgiev, to just continue playing well through the rest of that game. And I think it deserves credit. Even though I think 8-9-7 is what he ends the night
Yeah.
with, I think he played better than that shows.
Agree.
Well, I mean, we talked about it before the game. Like, get out of your end. Don't spend time in your own end. That's how you played Toronto. And Toronto's not the most aggressive team in the world to get pucks. And, I mean, they're good when they have the puck. So are the Avs. But the Avs the best team in the league when they have the puck. So Toronto did not have the puck. And that's why I say, yeah, Georgiev was fine. But you're down 3-0. And trust me, I've been in those locker rooms. It's, hey, buddy, we got you. Get back in the net. Everything's going to be fine. Just shut the door. We're going to take care of it. And that's what they did. Because he was, again, we can say all we want. He was unbelievable in the second and third. Like, he really didn't have much work to do. You know what I mean? But he did what he had to do. But when you've given up 3 on basically not a lot, you better be perfect till the end of the game because you're really on an average pace at 3 on 10. I don't care how it happened. I don't care how many times it touches bodies. I'm the biggest goalie defender in the world. I am. But pucks get deflected all game long. You know what I mean? And I'm not blaming the guy, but I'm saying at some point, sometimes the puck can hit you. Pucks can hit you. You know what I mean? So you're not like everywhere like Denny Lemieux and Slapshot, right? So pucks can hit you. So he gave up his 3 freebies in the first, and then after that, they told him, "We got you. We'll take care of it. Relax." And that's what they did.
Are you going into a transition or can I?
No, go ahead.
You say, I gotcha. The team in front of him did.
100%.
Because you're talking.
They dominated the second and third. He really had nothing to do. He had a few saves to make, and he made them.
You're
That's it.
talking the final
What's
40
the numbers
minutes.
for the last 40 minutes?
The final 40 minutes of the game, they have 29 of them, or it's basically 30 of them, are at 5v5. Toronto, you guys would consider an above-average offensive team just with their firepower and all?
Consider them a high-end offensive team.
Yeah. So they created the Maple Leafs 9 scoring chances in the first period. 5v5. 7 high danger chances. Okay? The Avs actually had both and more of those. Had more in both of those. But in periods 2 and 3 combined, the Avs scoring chance 18-7.
There you go.
7-2 high danger.
That's
they gave up 1 high danger chance at 5v5 in periods 2 and in period 3.
And that's the problem.
That's it.
It's a good hockey team.
That was the problem. Because they're giving up those high dangers and they go in. So the Avs right now, and the goaltending they're getting, cannot give a lot of high danger chances.
Yeah.
He's not making the saves. And I'm not a numbers guy, you guys know that. But the numbers tell me that that's exactly what's happening. So at some point, I understand high danger chance, but at some point you have to make saves.
Well, so here's the thing for me.
That's it.
Because, yes, I think there is some of that.
Yeah.
But Georgiev is in a situation in Colorado where most nights he just has to play good enough to win.
That's exactly like tonight.
And for a decent stretch of the season, I think we were a little bit concerned about his ability to have that good game. But we're 1 game removed from him pitching a shutout.
Well, I mean, if I go back to that game again, I don't think he was out of breath and
Man, he made 28, 29 saves in that game.
Again, I'm his biggest.
25.
I'm his
Was it
biggest.
25? Sure, whatever.
Again, it's not a 40 save performance. Like, it's not. He just has to be okay.
Yeah,
That's it.
I agree. The Avs are good
And if
enough
he's
that he
okay
just has to be
tonight,
okay.
tonight he was okay.
Yeah.
He's not very busy. He's probably the least busy guy on the team, besides those guys that played 4 or 5 minutes. He's the least busy guy of that team. So, just be okay, and you'll be fine. And then you'll gain confidence, and you'll be all right. And
Sure. He's got a bajillion wins, and he's an all-star now. So
there you go.
that's got to bring some confidence.
Bajillion wins and an all-star.
On that note, we are brought to you by Bet365. I did hit my bet for the Avs over 4.5, which was a good enough odds that it basically paid for the other ones that I missed. So, you know what? You got to put some of the bets in there and get a little bit lucky. We also have some football bets going on in the background here too. Yeah, it's looking okay. It's looking okay.
We're okay right
What's
now.
the Cole game, man?
It's like
19-7.
19-7, yeah. Got a chance at it. Either way,
It's gonna
whatever
be
you're
tight.
betting on, yeah. Go over to Bet365. Sign up with the DNVR 365 code. Put $10 in. When you bet $5 on a hockey game, you get $150 in bonus bets. And make sure you use the DNVR 365 code. Put the $10 in there. Take a screenshot. Send it to promo@thednvr.com. And you'll get a coupon code for a free DNVR shirt. You can get the 3-headed monster like this one. Or any of the other options. Doesn't even have to be an Avs shirt. Go over there. Get whatever DNVR shirt you are feeling. Be sure to use the DNVR 365 code. What was that? Okay. We have Dion shirts, if that's what you want. We got those.
I was just going to let it be.
Of course, when you're betting with Bet365, you must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado, or if you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. You can also text 1-800-GAMBLER today. And then we have a new sponsor, Empire Today. If you haven't heard of Empire Today, do you live under a rock? Because I grew up with them being on TV for a lot of my childhood. They're a super awesome company when it comes to getting yourself new flooring. They have a ton of amazing options, and the coolest part is you can shop at home. It's super convenient and super easy to do. They have professional installation. They have people who will come out, talk to you. You can visit with them. You can do all sorts of amazing options without having to go through all these hoops and do all of this stuff. They even have a virtual floor design option online where you can get your floor, like you can measure out your room and put it in there, and then you can project what your floor looks like and see what it looks like online. It's super awesome to see what it's going to look like, unlike me, who had to go get flooring last year, and we had to go through all sorts of problems just to get the floor in and figure out what was going on. Empire Today will make that so much easier. That's where we're shopping the next time we need flooring. So you can get a free in-home estimate scheduled today. All listeners can get $350 off when they use the promo code DNVR. Head on over to empiretoday.com/DNVR for details. There are some restrictions that do apply, but get to that empiretoday.com/DNVR. Get your floor plan all planned out and get yourself some new floors with Empire Today. I can't do the jingle. I can't sing. It's not happening. It's not happening. Our other shows will do the jingle, or maybe I'll make one of these guys do the jingle someday, and we'll find out if anyone on this beat can sing. But for today, just go get nice floors. All right, chat, you've gotten us well over 100 likes, so thank you very much. We've got some winners' shots here, some vitamin W for you. Cheers to the Halifax homie on this one. That's where I'm going.
4 points.
I
Not
really
bad.
want it to be a shirt.
As always, our winner shots are brought to you by Breckenridge Distillery. Get on over to BreckenridgeDistillery.com to see all of their amazing spirits. Jonathan Drouin is now starting to push himself into... is he a top-line player? Is it not just a, hey, he's fit into the Avs top 6? Is this guy certified, bona fide, Nathan MacKinnon's running mate territory?
I'll go first if you want. Like,
Take
for
it.
me, it's a question of fit, right? It's always been that. Sometimes on paper, you're not a first-line player, but he's certainly not a bottom 6 player. So if you're going to find a hole like they have for him, it's in the top 6. If I go back, because I'm older, I always say it, Avalanche 1.0. Like, is Scott Young really a first-line player? And I love Ducky, you know what I mean? No, but he was a great fit for Joe Sakic, right? And then that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's sometimes if you're a good fit for that person, that doesn't mean you're really a top line player. Obviously, history says he's not. Having not entry level, but lower end deal with the Avs, right, under $1 million, and probably looking for a job this summer. That's what he was.
Yeah.
Kudos to him, but he saw the perfect fit. Walshy, his agent, saw the perfect fit. And I think, and you say it, Halifax homies, and sometimes it's just familiar territories for you. You know what I mean? Been a little fragile the last couple of years with, all the issues that he had, and it's great to see. You know what I mean? That, you find some confidence, you find a good team with you, and it wasn't easy. First 10 games, he struggled. He was a scratch. I mean, he was right there where Bednar was going to maybe send him like the Thomas Tatar, right? Okay, we're done with this. And you got to give credit to him. You know what I mean? He's been awesome. And right now he's playing with confidence. He's going into Montreal next game. Not an easy place to go back to. I would have said, too, if he goes back in there after 10 games, probably sets him back another 20, because of all the pressure of going in there. Now he's going in there with his chin held up high, lots of confidence, lots of poise, and proud of himself. You know what I mean? And to go in there and face the media tomorrow, and because they're going to be a gazillion media people around him on that scrum there after practice, and good on him, because good on the Avs, because it's not going to set him back. It's actually going to make him feel probably even better. He's probably going to have an even better next 10 game stretch.
Just out of curiosity, it's not a super important thing, but when Arturi Lehkonen went back to Montreal, lots of love.
Yeah.
Habs fans loved on him a lot.
Yeah.
What do you think Drouin's reception will be in Montreal?
Here's what I'm going to tell you, and I read it in the paper yesterday, because I do read it every day still online, right? Which is the beautiful thing of online, right? I think there'll be a few dummies, like there always are, and
of course,
and they have their right to. That's fine. They pay their ticket. They can go and boo and whatever reason. But I think he's going to get a lengthy standing ovation. You know what I mean? Because I think so. Because Montreal people are warm at heart sometimes too. You know what I mean? And I think they're going to show him some love tomorrow. I mean, not tomorrow, but what is it, Monday? Or I think it's going to be good to see.
It's funny you say tomorrow, because I have had this Toronto-Montreal thing mentally as a back-to-back the
I keep
whole
thinking
time.
it's not a back.
It's been a back-to-back so many years that they've gone out east that it's screwing me up that it's not.
Well, it's Monday, Tuesday, and then Thursday, so it's the 3 and 4, right? With Ottawa on Tuesday and Boston Thursday. So
I hope they show him that love.
They will.
But talking about him as a complete player, as a first-line player, and all that. That's the difference between Jonathan Drouin. The big difference between Jonathan Drouin today and the Jonathan Drouin in Game 1 was that same job. Because you remember Game 1, he opened up next to MacKinnon and Rantanen as well. It's the same job, but it looks completely different because he looks completely different. We were remarking there was a loose puck, and he just he attacked, went after it, got a stick on it, making life hard, engaged physically. He's just completely different. And he has figured out that that hard work is giving him the results that he wants, and is putting him in the positions to go and get those results, to be in position to play next to a MacKinnon, to be in Colorado's top 6 when fully healthy. Right now, you're not messing with this. Val Nichushkin's driving a line by himself. What do you need Artturi Lehkonen to be the adult for when Jonathan Drouin's done pretty well at doing exactly that? You're not going to confuse him with Artturi Lehkonen or Val Nichushkin, but this version of Jonathan Drouin gets it. He's playing the kind of complete game. He's attacking on a forecheck. He's not ever going to be a guy that blows somebody up and does a lot physically, but he's using his speed, and he's using a really disruptive stick. He's using that vision that we see when he has the puck and that hockey IQ. He's using it in other facets of the game, which he's never done before, and it's boosted his game to such a level. You really can envision him ending the season with 50 points. You really can envision this guy as a legitimate problem for an opposing team in a best-of-7 playoff series.
Look, the 10 games don't count. No, not. The Avs have played 43 games this year, whether Drouin is in or not.
Yeah.
Drouin has 24 points. That's a 45-point pace.
Regardless of those 10 games.
Yeah.
You chop those 10 off,
And it's like a 60-point
it
pace.
jumps up quite a bit.
Dude's good. Sometimes life's easy. I don't know. Happy for him. Happy for the Avs that it's working out as well as it is. And then we get to what ends up being the game-winning goal. Who else is it? Eric was talking about the deer hunter the other day. That was Nathan MacKinnon tonight. Loads up. Patience. Lets the Leafs defender fly to the corner.
Boy.
One shot, one kill. Beats Martin Jones clean.
Your guy is better than their guy.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean,
Sometimes it just
that's
comes down to that.
And if I'm, we always joke in the NHL, like, some coaches more than others, but, they love their video, right? They love their video the next day. And sometimes you get lost because it's so long, it's too much, and it's just overwhelming. But some guys get it right. It's quick and to the point. And we always say, like, oh, boy, tomorrow, AJ, you're going to be an actor. You're going to win an Emmy. You know what I mean? You don't want to be an actor in those clips, right? Because you're the one that gets picked on. If I'm a coach tomorrow, and it's Jake McCabe, good player, but I take that clip and I show all my Ds. This is how we don't defend Nathan MacKinnon. You're the actor here, and the guy he's a good player, he's an NHL. But if you're gonna defend Nate, maybe you blew a tire. I don't know. Doesn't look like it.
It didn't look like it.
I think he just tried to slide, and it's like, you don't slide, especially that way, against the best player in the world right now. And he made him pay. Because what it does is you sliding in the third base and then being up outside the lines gives the best player in the league near Pizza Hut, right? 25 by himself against a goalie that's an average goalie, right? And then, really?
That's
and
the shot he prefers, too.
That's like, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to score. You know what I mean? And that's what he did. So
Megan,
that's why you don't mess around.
I really just really quick, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
That guy slides on a player that everyone in the world who has watched more than 7 seconds of film of Nathan MacKinnon.
That's what I'm saying.
He pulls up like that all the time. Does not matter what the defender is doing. Sometimes just does it with the guy in his pocket.
I know.
I have no idea what Jake McCabe is doing. Sorry, go ahead.
I just want to ask Megan, we've seen the Avs have the it factor in third periods this year for the most part. Is that locker room aware of this? Is this something they know is going? Is this something they've worked on? What is it that has this team so dominant in third periods?
Jonathan Drouin has talked about how the team doesn't panic. And that he has played on groups before that have had this, but not every room he's been in has had this quality. And that this Colorado group has it, and they don't play with fear, they don't play with panic, and that's their ability to climb back into games, even when the odds appear against them. And I was over here giggling because of the Sheldon Keefe quote that came out from tonight.
I need to hear this.
When McKinnon's line gets out there with Makar and Taves, the caliber of play, that's not the NHL. That's another league.
It is. But that's what the people say.
Would
Like,
you
oh,
say
the
it's
Avalanche are built
all-star
that
caliber?
way. No, but again.
And then he said Alexander Georgiev is an all-star.
But again, we're going back to it, and people keep saying, "Oh yeah, but the top line." I know they're the best players in the world.
Yep.
How is the? Would you rather be built differently? Where it's again the Seattle Kraken?
If
Then
you're
you'd
not
be
look,
bitching.
no,
I mean,
Do you
complaining
think-
all the time.
If you gave Ron Francis the choice, would he swap his roster with the Avs roster right
oh
now?
my God! Think about it. He won cups with Mario Lemieux. On a heart. That's how you win.
You know where teams peak out that don't rely on their superstars to get the job done? It's the Carolina Hurricanes.
There you go. What's my point?
Would you like to be the Carolina Hurricanes?
And again, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back right now to what Jonathan Drouin was saying. Jonathan Drouin's never been in a dressing room like this. Go back in his career. He was in Tampa before Tampa became winners. And before Tampa made those trades, and then they brought in the characters they needed to do to go win, and they did. Then he's in Montreal. They never made the play, or whatever it was. This is a different locker. This is a locker room that wins. And they've done it, and they want to win, and it's always about winning. And there's things that are said in those locker rooms. I can tell you, I've been in those dressing rooms, like Avalanche 1.0. They're built the same way. Joe Sakic was part of the Avalanche 1.0 as a player. They're built the same way. With superstar that put people in the stands, that put excitement in buildings, and that win games. And in the locker room, those guys, Nathan MacKinnon, he's not afraid, I'm sure. He's pretty blunt. You know what I mean? But there's things that are said in the locker room. Even to a guy like Georgiev, hey, do your job now. Shut your cake hole. You're good. We're going to take care of it now.
Oh, but just like that. Shut your cake hole and then he
whatever.
whistles at him.
Trust me, the guys, it's like a family. You know what I mean? And if you're about winning, you do the things you do to win. If you pretend to be about winning, you pretend to be winners.
You're the
but you
Toronto
never win.
Maple Leafs.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
Just to enhance Sheldon Keefe's point here, as a line tonight, in case anybody was curious, 16 minutes together at 5v5, Drouin, MacKinnon, Rantanen. 19-5 in scoring chances.
There you go. Not hard.
9-3 high danger chances. By the way, the other lines, the other real lines, the lines 2 and 3, also had advantages. Kivi Ranta, Ross Colton, Logan O'Connor had a 7-2 advantage in scoring chances.
There you go.
Kiwi.
Cogliano, Ryan Johansson, and Jason Poland also had advantages of 1-0 in scoring chances and
Did your job.
1-0 high danger chances.
Did your job.
Did it just fine.
That's it.
But when you look at those numbers for your top line, if I were to dare click on this Maple Leafs top lines,
Don't.
Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews, William Nylander did not play very much together. 1 scoring chance for, 2 scoring chances against.
1-4.
Tyler
1-4.
Bertuzzi, JT, William Nylander in their time together. 1 scoring chance, 5 against, 0-3 in high danger.
And that's what we're saying.
Colorado's star players absolutely housed Maple Leafs star players.
Thank you.
And the difference in those, the Maple Leafs have the same kind of firepower at the top of their forward core that Colorado does.
Yep.
Nowhere else.
Yep.
Nowhere else are the Maple Leafs in the same league as the Avalanche.
Yep.
And that is a game in which they played this jacked up lineup.
And the funny thing is, we're talking about this conversation in the game where Eric already talked about the Manson Cogliano goals. There's some luck there, sure, but that line still goes out and earns their keep.
Freaking.
And then Ross Colton has a 2-point night. Have the Avs solved their 2C problems because Ross Colton has a 2-point night? No. But on a night where the Avs need some guys to do some stuff in their shortened depth, there Ross Colton is. Sure, one of them's an empty netter, but he's also part of their first goal to start the comeback. When it comes to Ross Colton, where does he fit in this locker room, Megan? Because obviously he's adapted the game here. He's played well, all of that. How does he settle into a 2.5C role?
It's tough because the way it happened for JT Compher came out of a place of desperation. Like
sure.
when JT Compher was optioned as a 2, see previously, it didn't really pan out for him. It was as if it wasn't until there wasn't another option that he was able to sort of play up in the lineup. And even then, we recognized the ways in which that was limited. So I view Ross Colton in a similar light, that I think his best chance at succeeding in flexing between the second and third line centerman role is when there's a solid option for 2C ahead of him, so that when he's getting looks there, it's not born from a place of desperation. And I think that was the plan, and why he's on the term that he is in Colorado is this first season is about getting adjusted and playing to complement Miles Wood on a third line. And so I think we always knew he would get second line opportunity and minutes, but it wasn't supposed to come because Ryan Johansson wasn't panning out.
Yeah.
And so I think until they get another piece in the forward group to help alleviate some of the pressure that I think they're experiencing up top, I don't think we see Ross Colton totally succeed. I think that is the future plan for him still, and it just feels like it's maybe too much too soon for Colton. I think we were seeing some of his best hockey when he was in the third line role with Wood and an OC. And because that's been disrupted, I think that's why, and he's also dealt with a little bit of injury, I think that's why we haven't seen him play fully to what I think he'll be capable of with a little bit of time in the system.
It will be really fascinating. You put Val Nichushkin playing like a goddamn monster. You bring Arturi Lehkonen back into this lineup. You put those guys around Ross Colton. You put Ryan Johansson down with LOC and Miles Wood. What does that look like?
Really good.
Like, you're talking,
Yeah, I don't hate that.
You're talking Ross Colton in this game as your 2C.
Yep.
Was with Logan O'Connor and Yoel Kiviranta. This is a different world, man.
Yep.
This is a different world. They're winning games because their star players are incredible, and this is how they're built. And it is proof that being built this way works.
It does.
Especially in an 82-game regular season where sometimes you're just trying to get through stretches, where you just have guys who are hurt. You're not in a best of 7. You're not on a real short clock of we have to win 4 before they win 4, otherwise we go home. This is you're Ross Colton. His life's gonna get so much better in a week.
Yep.
A week,
maybe less.
And if it's not Ross Colton, then Ryan Johansson's life is sure going to get a lot better in a week. Because there are going to be some of these guys coming back into your lineup, getting back. You get a little bit healthy because you're not far off. Val Nichushkin's sick. Now, if it's the death flu like Miles Wood has,
he'll be back in a month.
Yeah, maybe we'll see him in 2 weeks. But you're this close to getting Arturi Lehkonen back, who's an important part of your top 6. You are 1 point out of first place
in the NHL.
Arturi Lehkonen's played 12 games for you. Really? 11, because he got hurt early in that 12th game. It is... If I'm in Winnipeg today, who finally lost a game, hilariously, they get shut out on the road in Philadelphia.
The Phillies on a back-to-back.
Phillies on a back-to-back, and they get shut out 2-0. Yeah, no Mark Scheifele, no Kyle Connor. I really can't listen to that.
Yeah.
Don't give me that shit.
I spent the last 2 years watching the Avs, all right?
Right.
Buck up.
For real, well, the Avs just won this hockey game with 9 forwards and 5 defensemen in Toronto, down 3-0.
Yep.
Don't give me that shit. The Jets just had the best stretch of hockey in their entire history. And what do they get out of it?
A 1 point lead.
They have a 1 point lead with 1 game in hand on the Avalanche. That's their reward. That you're not even talking about objects in mirror may be closer than they appear. They're right there. Just a problem, man. The difference between those two franchises right now, they are sky high. They lose 1 game, and the Avs are like, we'll take that. Thanks. Thanks for the weakness. It's a joke, dude. Good luck, guys.
I have a question for you guys. When the NHL scriptwriter goes to the teams. Who's in the inner circle? Who gets some sway?
Who are my options?
The whole league. All 32.
I want to know where you're going with this.
What's the question?
When the NHL scriptwriter, who's very real, and the league is definitely
very
scripted.
real.
Which teams are part of the inner circle?
Whoever leaks anything to them. Very simple.
Did Toronto script this loss?
No.
All right.
They got outvoted by Boston and Montreal's writers.
Okay, is that what happened?
And they said, oh, what do we have on the script for Toronto? Pain. That's it.
Every day.
Yep.
Just pain. If you want to be a part of the inner circle, get with Circle K today. You get the Inner Circle app. 25 cents off your first 5 gas station fill-ups.
Well played.
You can also get in on a bunch of different amazing deals. You get your first 5 Polar Pops for free. Every sixth pizza slice free. There we go. So you can go to, I guess it's not Pizza Hut, but you can get your pizza in the inner circle with Circle K. It's totally free membership, super easy to download. You can just enter your email and phone number on the Inner Circle app with Circle K and you get fully enrolled. Head on over to circlek.com/inner circle today for more information. Go get yourself some snacks at Circle K. And then also brought to you by Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer of DNVR. You can go get that anywhere in the 50 United States. Use the Breck Beer Locator online at breckbrew.com to find it near you. They have dozens of amazing flavors. Beer for everybody is what I always say, including 8 different kinds on tap down here at the DNVR bar. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. I'm at a loss of what to continue saying about this team and its ability to be resilient. I still don't love that they continue to put themselves in holes on a regular basis. But at this point, it's hard to doubt this team.
Well, first of all, it's the National Hockey League. Like, you're not going to dominate for 60 minutes. So shit happens, you know what I mean? And but when you're built the way they're built, and that's why they're always going to be in games, and people that complain the way they're built, is when you have MacKinnon, Rantanen, Makar, top players on this planet, it doesn't matter what's after. Even right now through their injuries, Ross Colton can be a 2C, whatever you want to call him. And it's okay to be uncomfortable where you're at sometimes in the lineup. It's okay to maybe not measure up to being a 2C or whatever it is. You're not the focal point. People are going to worry about, like what Keefe said tonight about Rantanen, MacKinnon, Makar, Taves, because it's a different planet. It is. So it's okay to be uncomfortable when there's guys that are hurt. You grow as a player. You grow within your team. I'm talking about Ross Colton. Here you go. You know, and when everybody comes back and everybody's slotted in the right places, you're going to be a better player for it, and the team's going to be in a better spot. So that's okay, because with what they have, they will always be in games. Always be in games. And that's why Jonathan Drouin, going back to what we were saying earlier, it's a great fit. It's a great call by Walsh, his agent, and him to come here, because he goes to Montreal. They get that trade for Sergachev, right? He goes there, and he's the focal point. He's the main guy. He's the French kid coming home. Couldn't handle it. Couldn't do it. But here, you can play on the first line with an elite players like Rantanen and MacKinnon, but he's not the driver. So he goes there, and those guys have the pressure every night. MacKinnon, Rantanen, Makar. So it's awesome the way they're built, because everybody gets to grow a little bit. And once, like AJ just said, you got Lehkonen and then Val that's off the flu, and, you know, Woody that you miss in parts like tonight, you know what I mean? Then this team's going to be a real threat. Like, I'll say it again. They're coming out of the West. They're coming out of the West. And at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. But this is a roster that's been built so smart, especially after they saw what they were lacking last year. I think this is outstanding what they did. And everyone goes through injuries, and we all know the Avs do. It's just because that's what we deal with. But this team, once healthy, and they will be, That's a tough out.
Just to feel like I've just done this the entire show. You guys all make great points, and I just throw a number at you. The can't beat good teams Avs.
Stop it.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
As of this very moment, there are still games going on. There's a shitload of games going on today. This is subject to change from when I actually say this, but have beaten the third ranked as the fourth place team in the NHL right now. 2 points out of first place in the NHL. Have beaten the third place team, the sixth place team, the ninth place team, and the 11th place team in the last week, while losing to the fifth place team in a game that was tied in the third period. They have done all of those things while missing significant parts of
There
their
you go.
lineup and getting, we'll call it inconsistent goaltending.
Sure. Pretty good.
And if you go and look at the fancy shit, their PDO is dead even.
Yep.
They're not lucky or unlucky. They're right in the middle. So you're
Sustainability, baby.
talking about a team that is, it's only ever just good.
Real. It's a real team.
What do you do with that? You're looking at and you're saying there's an obvious hole in the middle of your lineup. You've gotten Caleb Jones. Look, we should probably not see him as a forward again.
No.
That was bad.
Yeah.
Caleb Jones is a 7th or 8th defenseman. Good.
Awesome.
Sam Malinsky is a 7th or 8th defenseman.
Good.
Good. Sam Malinsky, by the way, for my money, I really like this game in this one. I'm looking forward to the rewatch when I get home because I think I'm going to really like Sam Malinsky. But how do you feel about this team? How do you feel anything but good about them right now? There were some moments, the 4-goal lead in Arizona.
Sure.
You lose in Chicago against a team that was missing 7 of their guys. And I reiterate, over the last 10 games, Winnipeg is 8-1-1 after their loss today. Best stretch in franchise history. Over the last 10 games, how many points do you think that they have extended on the Avs? Just in the last 10.
It's 1 or 0.
It is 0 after the Avs won this game. 8-1-1 for each of them. The Jets lost. They dared to lose one time in regulation.
And they gained nothing.
Even when they were 9-0-1 and the Avs were 8-1-1 going into the games today, you're talking about they had gained 2 points in 10 games of near perfection.
To back that up a little bit further, when you look at their losses in this stretch too, obviously the Arizona game had a 4-goal lead. You don't love blowing the lead, but a hockey game that they had business winning. The Arizona game was tied 4-4. Or no, the Florida game, sorry, was tied 4-4. A game that they had business winning. The Chicago game, the Avs led 2-1. A game that they had business winning. The last time they played a team that was just better than them was all the way back against Winnipeg in mid-December, where they lost 6-2 and heartily deserved to lose. They've got a full month of saying, you could legitimately say, yeah, they could have won every single game. They didn't, but they're just not a team that goes away.
It's also a team that in that time has several wins.
Yep.
Of multi-goal comebacks.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know what else. You should feel extremely good about this Avalanche team.
Well, and you know what it makes me think of? The 2022 Cup year Avs being described as the hot girls with no personality. The one-trick pony criticism feels like copy-paste, just in different packaging, and I don't understand how that side of thing, because I'm going to attribute this maybe more so to the pundits and the media, because when you look at the Sheldon Keefes of the world, the players and the coaches who know what the Avs are aren't saying these things about the Avs. But the media and the pundits who watch the Avs maybe a couple games out of the year are the ones making those comments. And I don't know how we're still making these comments, though, when the likes of Makar and Taves and Rantanen and MacKinnon are on this team. It just feels like for as long as those players make up the core of the Avs, those kinds of things will never be true. They're just too talented, and the mental makeup that they have because of talking about the championship pedigree that's in that room is too good for them to not be able to handle a little bit of adversity in the season. I think it's necessary and it's healthy, and it's caused us a lot of stress, including tonight, when they were down 3 goals.
Yeah.
So I won't pretend that I'm above all of that, But it just feels silly that these types of criticisms still exist about the Avs, because on this side of things, when you look at the people who actually have to prepare pre-scouts to face the Avs, nobody is underestimating them.
The
no
real
one trick
one
about
trick,
it, yeah.
the real one trick, it's winning. That's their one trick. It's winning hockey games. Cool criticism. Good point.
Well, here's what I'm going to say, okay? So the Avs are huddling. What's tomorrow? Saturday, Sunday. Okay, Monday, right? C-Mac, that we all respect and like and appreciate the job he's done, right? With his crew, from Joe to the pro guys. We're talking about pro guys. We're not talking about drafting and getting ready for the draft. We're talking about getting ready for trade deadline. Those guys are going to get down there. They know where the obvious holes are. I mean, they watch games. I mean, that's what they do. They're trying to make their team the better team every day. They're going to do everything they can to make sure that this is a better team. But I think what's very telling tonight is Sheldon Keefe's quote.
Right.
That's very telling. So, yeah, people can criticize the Avs and all they want and all that kind of stuff. But Sheldon Keefe goes out publicly and says, well, when MacKinnon's out there with Rantanen and Taves and McCarr, it's a different planet. So basically what he's saying is my guys aren't as good as those guys. That's a very... I don't care if you think it, you just don't say it. And all of a sudden now you're like... And he's right, because they are not in the same category. It's called this. I don't care what people say. I don't know. I don't have one. So but I play with guys that have them. There's a big difference. There's a difference in the way you conduct yourself in the locker room, between periods, on the bench, on key plays, how you deliver, how much pressure there is on those guys. It's sickening. It's sickening, the pressure these guys have, and that's why this MacKinnon stretch of point streaks and it's outrageous. It's outrageous. But for me, Sheldon Keefe said it tonight. Oh, those guys are on a different planet. And that's why I'm saying those guys, Mac and C-Mac Monday and their crew, they're going to go and do because it's a special team. It's a special core they have, and they're going to do everything in their power they can. Like 2 years ago, adding Lehkonen and Manson, and right, that's what they were missing. They know what they're missing. They know what they'll be able to go and do. Last year, they couldn't do anything for all the reasons, right? So this year, whatever they'll be able to do, they'll do. They'll do, because guess what? Guess what? What's the difference with C-Mac and the crew? They have these two. Just like the players, they have these. Not wedding rings, Stanley Cup rings, right? And it shows in the way you act and the way you think and the way you go do about things. And there's a confidence factor. And I think those guys are in great positions right now to elevate their game by the end of trade deadline. And if it's nothing, because that's what they decided and that's what they figured out it was, they know. But I don't think it will be, because I think they will figure out a way to add to it. And that's going to be a dangerous team to stop.
Can I just ask it's not even just that they have rings, right? Because Mike Keane having a Stanley Cup ring coming to Colorado wasn't going to be the difference between a team with championship. It's the guys at the top.
Yep.
Living
that's
and breathing
right.
and dying
right.
with winning.
That's right.
And like, I am annoyed Nathan MacKinnon scored what ultimately was the game-winning goal, and you couldn't tell because he was like, fist bumps, fist bumps.
I'm Nathan MacKinnon.
Cool.
I'm never happy.
Good job, everybody. Cool. And then his post-game interview, he's like, I don't even know what he said, but I imagine it's, it was a tough start for us. We found our game. We believed. Bedsy told us to keep at it. We kept at it. We know what we're doing. We got there. Because it's not about winning this game.
Yep.
It's about winning every game. It's about winning every day.
Right.
It's about being the best version they can be every single day. When you're obsessed with winning, you hate to lose. And when you hate to lose, you win the most. That is sports math. And that is just when your best players, when it was Joe Sakic and Peter Forsberg and Patrick Waugh, guys obsessed with winning and being the best.
Yep.
They won a ton. We look at the 2 Stanley Cup rings. They went to 5 conference finals in 7 years.
That's right.
That's not Carolina Hurricane shit. That's Colorado Avalanche shit. All right? And I think we're just in the beginning phases of this team. This team learned how to do it.
Yep.
And I'm just saying, if they had Gabe Landeskog, this would all be way better.
Yeah.
Because the fact that they're just missing this guy and they're still winning like this is absurd.
Yeah.
It's absurd. But they get that guy back. They get very lucky they get that guy back. It goes to a different level. It's already at a crazy level. It is crazy that they are fourth in the NHL. They are 2 points out of first place between two of the most charmed teams in the league. Sitting around with the problems that they have, the goaltending that they've gotten. It is absurd how good this hockey team is, especially right now. And it starts with the attitude. They come to the rink every day. They mean business. This is about winning. This is not about having a good time and forming a little train during morning skate like they're doing in Philadelphia, which for the record was adorable. Have a blast, fellas. I'm glad they're not as miserable as they were a year ago. This is not about game 42 or game 43 or game 44. This is about winning the last game of the season. And all of this builds to that. And it is incredibly impressive to watch what they're doing right now because this is all starting to feel very familiar. It was starting to feel way too much like last year for a little while.
Until they took a hard left.
And now it's starting to feel like 2 years ago with obvious improvements here. The roster's not where it needs to be. They're going to not win as many games if the roster continues to look like this as they are right now. But this is very, very impressive.
And I'm going to add to that because we were all in Loveland yesterday, right, for the Eagles game. And I ran into C-Mac. And my first reaction to him was not in a disrespectful way, but what the hell are you doing here? You know what I mean? Like, and he looked at me like, huh? Like, what are you watching our farm team? You know? No. I'm like, you guys just left on a 5-game road trip. And a very important thing on a manager's part is to have the pulse on your team. And if you're not there and you manage from far away, you don't have the pulse on your team. It doesn't exist. It's called the B rule. You got to be there. That's it. Very simple. C-Mac knows that. But what did he find more important this weekend? I'm going to give a little bit of love to the Eagles. I'm going to go watch the DU game tonight. And then Mondays are what?
Team
meetings.
Yeah, it's meetings.
It's important that I'm there because you just said it. We know we have to make our roster better. And it's more important for me to be here. But the good part of this is he has a good pulse on his team. That's a few thousand miles away, right? Back east. With a coach he trusts, with the leadership group that he trusts. So he can let them be over there. You guys go win some games like this that they did tonight. I'm going to deal with the guys that work hard, that don't get a lot of credit, like the pro scouts and all that kind of stuff, right? They're the ones that get on those planes and do the dirty work and find the deals that are available, like the MacKinnons and, the Mansa. And then I want to be with those guys to try to make the roster better. And to me, that's leadership. That's also telling of where this group's at and what they want to accomplish. It's not winning a game January, whatever it is today. It's because they want to win it all. And there's a big difference. And I go back to it and I'll say it again. There's a lot of pretenders in this league and there's a lot of doers. The doers are the ones that win and they want to win and they say they're about winning and they do everything about winning. And there's a lot of teams that they say they want to do it, but do they really do it? Not really. The Avs want to do it.
Just my opinion. We'll get a lot more into this over the next 2 months as we get more into deadline stuff.
Yep.
The landscape of the NHL this year, who's the great team? Your top two teams at the top of your standings right now are Winnipeg and Vancouver. And I mean no disrespect. Those are also your top two teams in PDO. And Boston. Boston is 3. It's the third team.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're fourth.
With an
in the
average
standings.
PDO.
With a dead even PDO.
Yep.
You're for real. You owe it. They owe it. C-Mac and all those guys, they owe it to the guys on the ice. The guys on the ice can't give. They can't give any more than what they're giving. They can't ask for more. There's no more blood from that stone. Now it's on them. They have put them in position to host a first-round series. Go chase down the Winnipeg Jets. They're not afraid of the Winnipeg Jets.
No.
The Jets have to prove they're not afraid of the moment.
That's right.
The Avs aren't afraid of shit. And now it's the front office's turn to chase them down, host a first-round series, and put that best team out there that they absolutely can whether that's Elias Lindholm, whatever it is. I know there are future considerations that you talk about,
Sure.
and it's not just about this year. But this, I'm sorry, but this is the year. You sack up. You do whatever it takes.
That's right.
You do whatever it takes with this landscape, with the opposing teams that are out there right now, the teams that are struggling. You're getting better and better, and your goaltending can be better, your center depth can be better, and you're right where you are. Are you kidding me? They owe it to these guys in that locker room to go out there and do something big and bold, something that Pierre would be proud of.
Oh, absolutely. And then I'll tell you one thing. You take, Rudo always says it, you can only play the game that's on your schedule. So on the schedule tonight, if you're the Toronto Maple Leafs, you get in front of your fans one chance a year to play the Avs on a home ice. And the Avs are, across the league, one of the favorite teams, last year is to win the Cup. Did they sack up? No, they didn't. The top guys folded, and the visiting team, the Avalanche, top guys rose. You said it by the numbers. The eye test said it. And that's what's missing there. And that's why this team is special. You're not special, like you said, because of the Mike Keens and you're special because of the Joe Sakic's and Patrick Waz and Peter Forsberg's and Ray Bourque. And, that's why you're special. The other guys help you. You can't win without them. They're going to help you win. They don't make you win. Those top guys.
Oh, that is my favorite quote ever.
No, but it is. It is true. They will not make you win. They're going to help you win. The top guys will make you win. Makar, frickin' MacKinnon, Rantanen. Those guys will. And that's why we ask Georgiev, just be good. Just be good. Don't be bad.
Okay. Megan, anything to add before I speed run these super chats?
Sorry.
Okay. Let's do the super chats and go home.
My man.
$5 from Ted Cool Facts that says, another beautiful comeback win. I love the way our boys have been playing when they are trailing. Yeah, I mean, I still don't love that they keep making holes for themselves, but they're a really good team. So sometimes it just don't matter. $2 from Banks, who says 2 points without Val. Good road trip start. Go Avs and DNVR. $10 from Stefan that says this win made suffering negative 40-degree weather so worth it. Depleted team, the league should be worried with how good Avs are without all their players.
Absolutely.
Ridiculous. $20 from Chad, who just says thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
$5 from Melanie, who says perfect ending to a cold Saturday. Yes. It's looking good, bud.
It's tight.
$5 more from Stefan that says, I'm loving these early games. I plan on being here for postgame a lot more. Keep up the good work, guys. Trust me, we're loving the early games too. We get home before midnight.
Got all super ranty. This is a long-ass pod. It's only 9:15. This is amazing.
Right? We're running way long, and it's like early still. $10 from Jim that says, hope the zero-trick pony biz enjoyed this one. Best team in the league with the MVP of the league. I used to pray for times like this. And then $2 from Vaguely Sober, who says, it was 3-0. It's the best I can do. Look,
Yeah, it was.
I'm actually fine with the Avs being a one-trick pony, because to be a one-trick pony, you have to do the trick twice. So I guess the Avs will just have to win another Stanley Cup.
And we're going to have to release another shirt with 4 cups on it. We're going to have to change our pod logo.
Yeah.
Add another year on there. This is why this is becoming the City of Champions. This is why this is becoming the cradle of greatness in the NHL.
Yep.
Because you have another generation of this. This is not, Kane and Taves and you got 3 out of 6 and they did a great job, but that's a one-hit wonder. And where are they now? Hoping that they can find friends for Connor Bedard someday. This is what you build towards. This right now, today, tomorrow, the rest of this season. I'm just saying they have to go and do something. Make them better because they're already really, really good.
Have you been slandered by being called a one-trick pony? Call Bacchus and Shanker today at 222-2222. Go get a free consultation. Seriously, though, any situation where you've been injured and you're not at fault, Bacchus and Shanker have your back. You can go to the 2-number or coloradolaw.net. They'll give you the consultation. They'll take your case on. You pay them nothing up front. They don't get paid until you get paid. And they will get you the money that you deserve. They've won over $1 billion for their clients over the years. They're very, 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 very good at what they do. Go get with them. Bacchus and Shanker wins. The Avs win. That's it for this pod. Oh,
One second.
okay.
I want your quick thoughts on
Heinous.
Oh my God.
What the hell is that?
These are the jerseys.
Horrible.
Shock.
Now I really want Kale to find a reason not to go so I don't have to see him in one of those. Yikes.
Okay. Now that my eyes are on fire, we are done here. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out for this one. It was a fun post-game show. We're off tomorrow. Back for Monday's game. Tune in. Same YouTube channel. Like, subscribe. If you hate YouTube, listen to it on Spotify. Bam. Goodbye.
We all silly like the mayor.